Okay, so let me try to create the detailed view of this thing. I was basically planning to record it, but then I thought, why don't I create a live out of it? Because kind of reduces the work in terms of video editing and stuff, and it's much more interactive. That's what I feel. So let's basically start with that. So this is my course list which is going to appear. I'm working on that piece, but then one individual item here is that as a user, when I want to click on this particular course, I should be able to see the details, and in that course we will have topics, and let's see if we can cover that as well. So I'll start with pretty basic stuff and try to move a little quick, because last time when I did the live in 1.5 hours, the progress was not that much, and it makes sense to quickly do things because most of them will be quite repeating stuff. Okay. So the first thing which I'll do is obviously to get a detailed API for this, a get API. So I have course, I don't have course by ID, so let me do that. So let's just say we have course controller a view method which will be doing a route model binding. Recently I've been posting a lot of tweets on tips and tricks on Laravel, and recently I have covered quite a few things on route model binding. So if you haven't seen that, do check them out on Twitter. My Twitter ID is AmitavRoy7. You can find the link in the description, but there are quite a few interesting tips and I'm sure you'll like them. Okay, I have course for now. I don't think I need anything else right now. Let's start with this and then we'll see. Inside my service, course service, I have get my courses. Let me duplicate this. Okay, and let's just say we have a URL. Okay, and this will need the ID, so I'll keep it like this. And the URL, no, it will be okay. I can do this actually, right? And then slash ID, something like this, and pass this as URL. This should do the trick, and then I'll get the response over here. So let's just do use effect. On the load of the component, have constant constant get course details. Okay, and then the next thing will be, how do I get the ID from the route? I have to check that. So I'll call this function. See, one problem with this use effect hook is that you can't do an async function inside here. So anything which is an API call will need to happen over in this function. Okay, and so what I can do is course service dot what get course by ID. For now, let's just get this constant course equals await console.log course. Let me see, this should start coming up. It's saying there's, okay, something is there. URL service, this is fine, but in here, okay, so this should solve the problem. And I have this page over here which is view slash, so if I do course view slash 1, this doesn't work. Why? Course view, oh my bad, it needs to be renamed. It needs to be renamed as ID, something like this. I think now it should work. Yes. Okay, it says it found a 404, which is a bit strange. Let me see what is happening. Course view, okay, that is fine. It made a call, but this is how it formed the URL. Maybe that was the reason. Let me see. I am sending one over here and this has the thing, so that's creating the problem. Okay, got that. Now I have the console, so data is coming, but again this is hard coded, so we need to do something about it. How do we get the ID from here? I think there is a way to next.js get params from route. Let me see, I have router and then this, so this should work. Let's try to get that. Okay, we have use router, we are using this hook. Okay, and that hook will give us what? It will give us the ID. Let's see. We won't get this that in here, do we? Yeah, we will, so not a problem. Okay, let's come over here, hit refresh, and it says undefined. Okay, so it is undefined. Maybe I'm doing it in the wrong place, so how will it get that? Yeah, okay, now it got this as undefined once more. And is it because this is not inside the hook? Maybe it's picking it up before. I know even the component is ready, I don't know. Let me see. So I'll pass it over here. And here, let me see now what happens, because in normal circumstances it is coming up. Okay, it still didn't work. So as you can see, if I do course and slash view slash one, okay, I made a spelling mistake. Now this won't load that again. So my API course, this is still coming as undefined. Why is it coming undefined? Over here, router query. So is it because ID is not coming up? Am I doing something wrong? Use router from next router, right? That's fine. Router dot query ID. This must be undefined if anything else. Now I think, okay, this is coming up, which is again strange, because so what we are saying is the ID was here. I passed this ID to this particular place, and here it got as undefined. Console service ID. Let's see. To refresh. Okay, ID and service is undefined, which is really strange. Shouldn't have been the case. What am I doing wrong over here? I can always switch back to a server side thing, but I wanted it to be inside the hook. What does the documentation say? So dynamic routes, ABC, PID. If it is comment, then it gets that comment, right? So what's the problem? I'm really not sure. Let me see. Anywhere else I have done this? User is logout video view ID. Let me see. What am I doing wrong over here? I did a server side call. That's for sure in here. Maybe I'll pass the ID from here. That should ideally be the case. I'm thinking that. Okay, let's see. Because when the page is reloaded, I think what is going to happen is the first thing which is getting called is the server side thing. So I think we can do that. So params, I get the ID. Okay, and we need to return, right? So inside props, I have ID. This will mean inside here I will get ID, and let's get rid of the hook and see if this is working. Come over here, and right now we are getting things. So server side code was required. This is fine. So far so good. We are getting the course. And what else? Now I need to set that in a state, because I want to ideally show the course thing over here. Manage course, right? So let's do constant course set course. Okay, like this, and set course. It's going to be a problem. Response data. That's how I'm sending the information. And now what I can do is we can do course dot I haven't defined the type, so it won't give me the hinting, but it is going to be what data, name and description I can show somewhere. So name is here and it says course undefined. Okay, that's strange. It's the state, so it shouldn't be complaining about this. And this is happening because it doesn't know. Okay. Will it fail in compiling? No, it's giving me an error, which I understand is going to be the case. So okay, I haven't linked it, so let's first do that. Actually, it will be easier for me to navigate. I have index. This is the course list. Inside the course list, course item. Okay, this is the component which is, I would say, rendering the card, and I need a link tag. So the link tag in Next.js is something like link href and then the entire thing, right? But I don't have an a tag. Li. Okay, let's try link. Okay, this is something strange. Okay, by the way, I don't really get autocomplete for the next link inside VS Code for some reason. I don't know. So href equals how do we link it? Slash course view, and then what? I need to do something like this, which is dollar course ID, right? I course, I have a interface for that, so that's good news, because I would like to also somewhere get that. Can I do I course in here? No, I can't, but maybe I can define a state somewhere. Let's see. Okay, so with this done, okay, the link tag is behaving quite bad actually, but fine, that's cosmetic. I will not handle that right now. Let's just look at this. So information is coming over here, and first of all, this is justify content, which I'll get rid of. I don't need that justified thing over here. And instead of the course list, what I will do is row column let me see. I want that this particular screen has the list of, how do you say, topics, right? Or so let me first go inside. Right, sorry for a little lost in here, but we are saying that this page here should have the ability to, first of all, let's just say we want to add chapters. Okay, not courses or anything, so we will add chapters in here. Now I have a layout which is something like this, my courses, and this I want to basically replicate it. Let me see how I can do that. I have, okay, the markup was actually same. Why is it not coming? Let me try to paste it once more. These two things will not come, and topics will be added. So chapters, chapters in here, and let's see. I'll click over here. Okay, this is coming over here. I think the form needs to be added somewhere. Right, right, right. So my bad. By the way, if you are getting too much sound, that's because it's raining quite heavily, so I can't help that. But yeah, if you want, I can reduce the mic volume if it is too loud. Just ping me on the chat and I will do that. But otherwise, I'll continue as is. We get some water first. By the way, feel free to drop in questions if you have any. I will try to answer them. Okay. Now we have this form. So we will add a component for this. So components forms, we have not course. We have chapters with, okay, we don't have anything right now. So chapter add form, chapter add form index.tsx, constant chapter add form, like so. It is going to be a formic form. So let's open and close this. We need initial values, like so. I'll have to first import that. Okay, initial values, it needs on submit. Will properly define everything. But first let's get the basic bootstrap done. Okay, that's how I like to work with. Let's steal a little bit of code from maybe some other forms. So this is here, formic, and then implement the formic thing. Okay, form level is already a component which I have, and then validation message is here. Anything else? I don't think so. So now a course will have chapters. So first of all, let's add a few fields over here. I'll have name, description. Okay, where is my migration? Over here. We have name and description. That is fine. Anything else that we need in the chapter? We need, let's say we have a unsigned, not big integer. Integer is still fine. This is weight or order, maybe. Order is fine. Default to 0. Okay, that's what I want to do. Okay, this is how I'm planning to basically have a drag and drop kind of a thing. So when we have the list of chapters, I can drag and set the sequence of those chapters, and then each chapter can have multiple videos. So that's a separate thing. But yeah, we should be able to move around the chapters to set the sequence. That's why we have that. Okay. Now input. input text, name is name. That's quite creative. On change, let me see, how have I handled on other forms? Is it some custom component? I think so. No. Okay, fine. So we have name. We will exactly copy this and paste it over here like this. Enter name, handle change, handle blur. These two things are done. Then we have description. So let me copy this much like this. Okay, and the description ideally is a text field, so let's do text area. I'll steal a little bit of code from here. Text area. Okay, by the way, this is wrong, this should be name. Okay, and let me correct a few things. So form label will be name, add name. Okay, make it chapter name, name values, name, enter name. That's fine. This is fine. Description. Okay, everything is fine over here. Description needs to have a default value. Okay, and the weight thing is something we will not add in this form, right? One last thing over here, let's come to the page and make chapter, add form. Okay, and it's not getting imported. Why? Okay, so we have this form which is ready, but we need certain validations. So let's first add a schema. So I have schemas, and then I have comment and story. Let's create a new one. I'll copy this chapter schema.ts. Course becomes chapter. I should do something about this. I'm repeating this code, which is not a good thing. So maybe I'll refactor it. Maybe I'll pass it through an anonymous function so that it returns the field name and the string is hard coded in that. But for now, let's keep it simple. Okay, in the form, I'll have validation schema. Import it. Hey, hi Bhushan. I'm still working on that video application. So I was trying to build certain features, and I thought, although it's quite late, but I'll still do a live and continue building it so that it's easier for everyone to understand how things are progressing. Thanks for joining so late. It's 11, right? Yeah. So yeah, thanks for joining. Okay. So right, the validations are in place. This is something which I really like about Formic. The validations become so easy. Okay, this is done, and now let's handle the form submit. So the form submit will give us, let's create a form, constant handle submit equals this. Okay, and what do we get? We get the values, that's for sure, and there's something which is called Formic helpers. Just copy this, any, that's what Formic generally gives, and we need to, I typically take this because it allows me to reset the form. That's one thing. So everything happens for make helper, and then we do reset form. Okay, that's the reason I generally try to keep that. Okay, again, the implementation is quite straightforward. Whatever we get in values, we should be able to send it to the service. That's what I'm going to try. Let's say SDF. Now this is interesting. Sometimes I have seen that nowadays I need to refresh to get that. I don't know why. And this console is not coming. Okay, my bad. Wow, I haven't even added it. But yeah, service codes sometimes doesn't give me the immediate feedback. I don't know why. Okay, these two data variables are coming, so still complaining. I don't know. Okay, we'll fix that eventually. We will. um, so I have inside my services, I have video service, user, course. Let me create a new one. Could have done inside the course, but that's fine. Let's not do that shortcut. Let's create a new one. It doesn't really take too much time. Save chapter. Okay, data, this, we have course add. We will do a chapter add. chapter, right? So chapter, like this. Okay, now with these things done, I think the front end generally will work. Okay, because oh, no, sorry, what am I doing? This is course service, and what I will need to do is import course service. Why are there two? Okay, one is chapter, one is course, and I haven't renamed it. So let me go to chapter. Problems of copy pasting. So I have save chapter. Auth service is fine, right? Chapter service dot save chapter. Okay, values, I'll pass it as is. Await, response equals this, and make this async. Okay, now obviously we will get a 404. Yes, because we don't have the API. So let's quickly do that. Inside Laravel, I don't think we will need too much time to do anything of that sort. Okay, but I have one problem. I don't think I have a seed for a course, so I'll just create one maybe. Every time I migrate, it will remove that, which is a problem. So I'll just do course create name description like this, and let me see the migration. What else do we have in here? User ID is active. Okay, I don't need the is active and student because they have default values. One should work. And what else? Now if I do the migration, okay, we still have, okay, I have an unauthorized problem, but that's something which I can still handle because the tokens are not there with the new database that we have just now seeded, but at least I have this. What happened to my title? Hmm. My Okay, I think the UI went for a toss. What pop-up? Which pop-up? Bhushan, I didn't get that. Which pop-up are you talking about? No, I don't know. Okay, so where were we? Chapter, right? So we need to save the chapters in here. API, I have courses. Let's say we have a route. Do we have a controller, first of all? Oh yes, the error pop-up will come because I'll show you what happened. So I'll do MRS. This is MRS was what? Which MRS? Okay, it's not giving me the thing. It's basically refreshing the entire database. Okay, now when I refresh the database, it's deleting the tokens, right? So that's why I was getting that error. If I refresh now, come on, give me the error. Yes, so this is the development. When you are inside development mode, you get this pop-up when you have some network issues. So when I get this 401, it shows it like this. On production, you obviously don't get that. Okay, so I'll have to log in again, but that's fine. Reach me at thefroy.com. Oops, damn. I hope the password is correct. Yes, it is. Right. By the way, I'll fix the UI later. That's a little, that's quite horrible actually, but fine. Let's go with the development flow right now. So route, post, what do we have? Chapter controller is here because I created the model, and at that time I did that as well. So name. Oh, Bhushan, that's part of Next.js. So I haven't done anything about it. It's by default. Yes, UI is fine. So chapter dot save. I have done save or I have done store. Let me see. I have save, right? So that's fine. Chapter controller. Store request post data equals this. Validate. I have name, description spelling is correct. Yes, okay. This is 5. Keep things simple, what I will do is, oh, I need one more thing which I'm not passing over here, which is the relation, right? How can I skip that? So course ID is required. Okay, now there's one more thing. It's maybe you can say it's my way of thinking, but let's see. Do we have a active inactive thing inside our course yet? I think no. Course is, oh yes, it is active. Now here's the thing. I can have a validation where I can say it exists in the database. Okay, and I can check for that. But then if that passes, even then I am not 100% sure whether I should be able to do it, or maybe I'm wrong, because any course which is created will be inactive by default, so fine. I think what I was saying was wrong. So exists in table, so inside courses, and the ID is going to be 1. This is fine. And then I can do chapter create post data like this. Return response chapter 201. This is fine, but now I am having one doubt. What is the model like? Yeah, it is not handled. So course fillable, come over here, fillable name, description, and student count. These two things are not required. Fine, this is done. Last thing over here, values. Can I do something like values dot chapter underscore id equals 1? Let's hard code it and send. Let's see if we are able to even create that, and then I'll pass that as a prop. Course id. Oh yes, course underscore id. Thanks. Oh my god. Okay, Bhushan has eagle eyes. I can definitely see that. Right, thank you. But I haven't. Do I have a user ID? I don't need a user ID inside chapters. Right, right, fine. So, where was I? This is my React code. In this, I have course ID, which is hard coded right now. And then I'm sending the values, which is fine. Ajax call should create. So let's see. My course. Wow, internal server error, which is fine. If it happens in one shot, sometimes I feel I am doing something wrong. What is the error? Come over here. Unknown column course ID. Okay. My migration was not correct. So database chapters foreign table foreign 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 ID course ID should work. I am assuming. Okay. This should work, but again I'll have to log in. The token is not valid anymore. Okay, we have success. Let me do tinker. chapter. chapter. That's weird. This is also not working, which is I'm sure it is getting created, otherwise data data, right? The ID wouldn't have come, but okay, let's just say, yeah, Apache is not running, so my PHP myadmin will not work. Yeah, it might have some problems. Okay, anyways, so this is getting created, and so quickly what I will do is come over here. I think generally we are in sync. One thing which I may have a problem with is the form once gets submitted will not be able to communicate with the other side, because those are independent things. What I'm saying here means that when I am saving, right, this list needs to get updated. What I can actually do is, okay, I'll have to maintain the list on the parent component, then I will be able to do. Okay, first quickly do chapter dot index, maybe. Okay, we will come to that. Route controller, but I need, no, that's not what I want to do. I want all the chapters in that course. Okay, so course slash chapter, I'll put this, no, it's part of here. So course chapter, I'll need the ID, but I'm thinking if there is any way to bind it. Maybe not. Okay, I have an idea. Let's stick to that. Let's finish then this particular piece, which is this thing right now is hard coded, right? We have this page, and here we are getting the ID. So what I will do here is course ID equals ID. So this particular component interface props, this is going to be a number, react dot functional component props, I'll get the ID over here, and now this becomes dynamic. I can create one more course and check it, but yeah, let's keep that for now. If I just create one more, I think we should be able to get that. Yeah, let's then work on the listing. We'll save. No, it has shown an error 422. It didn't get the ID, is it? What happened? Where is my 422? Given data, the course ID field is required. Course ID field didn't go through, which is strange. Okay. So it was going when it was hard coded, and now when I made it dynamic, it is not going. Right. And if I do one, this is weird. Shouldn't have happened. Why is the value not coming over here? Ah, my bad. So I haven't saved it. Okay. Let's try one more time. RT3. Okay, so this is working, so we are fine. Okay, and now it's time to work on that particular piece which we were saying that I need to get all the um, how do you say, all the chapters in a course, right? Now we have a course controller where we are loading the course model needs to have chapters. Okay, return this has many okay. So now with this inside chapter I will say course belongs to course. Okay, and in here chapters, right? Order by, I think I'll need to do an order by, but first let me query that data. Okay, this is not the one. Chapter controller, course controller, inside the course controller. uh, where is the API? Hold on a second, clean this up. Course controller view, it's course, sorry, course load, and now that load takes an array, and inside that I can do chapters. Okay, let me see what is coming now. Okay, now this is not an Ajax call, so I'm getting the course data, but then the course view page state, I have the chapters over here, right? So I can see it has 3 chapters, which is good. So let's look at the how do you say, let me close everything out and go step by step. So inside our pages courses view, I have this component which has the state. Okay, and this state also has the courses, correct? The form is creating the course. What I'll have to do is, when a new course is successfully added, I need to push it to this course array, right? Because if I, let's just say, run how do I destructure it? Okay, let's run it by default. So course dot chapters dot map. Okay, and I'll have chapter comma index return chapter dot name. For now, let's just do that. Is it going to fail? Yes, chapter. Is my ts config on strict mode by any chance? Oh no, it's not. Okay, can I do any over here? Course dot chapters chapters doesn't exist. Yeah, I need to define this some way, otherwise it will keep complaining about these things. It's not getting the definition, and so it's becoming a problem. How do I do that? Maybe there's something called I state. So React I state. Let me see. I state. I can define the React define state type. React use state define type, right? Let me see. I think this is the one I'm actually looking for. So what is he doing? Let this use state interface I user. Something I'm migrating a React TypeScript this, but I cannot figure out how to set typings, right? What is the... All right, that's interesting. So in the use state, they are defining it, right? So this is very typical thing on TypeScript. If you don't use TypeScript, you may not face this problem, but I like to work with this. Okay. Chapters is an array of, let's just say right now it is unknown, or even any will do. Okay. So this problem got solved, but then name, it is still complaining. Maybe I need to define the name. So I have chapter, I have course. What I can do is export interface I chapter. We will have name description this thing. So I'll do this, and I'll have user ID created at, updated at, and just copy this in here with that entire definition. Now it shouldn't have a problem. Chapter, let's see. I think it will fail. I'm generally sure about that. What is it saying? Course is undefined. Course is here. Okay, that's a little strange. It is not getting the course itself. Cannot read property name. Okay. Cannot read property name. Internal server error. It's also getting an internal server error because, okay, that's not coming from Laravel. So this is from Next.js for sure. Let me try to debug what is happening. I'll just first comment this out and first see what is coming up. Okay, now it says chapters is not available to it. If I do null, will it work? What I can do is course and, okay, right, and it failed again, which is still fine. This I can solve, not a problem. I'll do something like div like this. For now, let's give a key to it, and Now what? Objects are not valid. Use an array instead. Okay. What is wrong in here? I have course and chapters. I'm doing a map. Let me now see what is happening. Okay, so we have fine till here, right? Let me do json.stringify chapter. Okay, and inside chapter I do have name. So what I was doing was actually correct. Right, now it is even finding the hints. So this is fine. I think we are almost there in terms of things. So if I now try to add one, and if I hit save, for now I'll have to refresh, but I'll get that the order is wrong. We can quickly fix that. Inside course we have chapters, order by descending. For now let's keep it to ID. Okay, and if I hit refresh, the top one comes on, the latest one is on top, but we will work with something else in terms of the drag and drop. But this is kind of done, but we are not able to update when the form is submitted. So what I will do is, this is where the props will come into picture. Constant add new chapter. Let's see, chapter will be available to me. Okay, and I have so I have course object, and yeah, this is going to be interesting. So first of all, let's save that and send it as this. Add new chapter is coming as a prop to this particular component, which is a function. Okay, it's a function which I can call. So what I will do is response dot status equals 201. If that is the case, I will need to destructure it here. I will pass response dot data dot data. Okay, that's what happened. Why? Expected argument. Wow, what's that? Data is fine. Oh, I see. Right. So I'll have chapter. Right, I haven't defined in the interface that it will have a thing. So yeah, now this is over here, and I should get the console when a new chapter is added. That's for sure. Okay, so let me try once. Still refresh just to be sure. Okay, the name is still not working, huh? This is weird. I'll have to see why that's the case. Comment it out for now. Refresh. New one. Prop10 came. The console was not there. Why? You submitted a form using a button with a specific type. This most browsers. Okay, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. But status code, if it is 201, it should have triggered this. Is this syntax wrong? I sometimes get confused because of PHP and things, but I don't know. Feels correct. So maybe I'll do a console. I don't know. Let's quickly see. Like this. And right? Yeah, I could have done that actually. Let's see if the if condition is failing, then maybe there's something else. But okay, chapter is here, so I think Bhushan, what you are saying is correct. I can try. I wonder where double question mark works. As far as I remember, it works somewhere. And no, it's not working. Okay, I'll have to remove the if condition. Right. Okay, so that's taken care of in here, and now I need to basically add it to the state, right? I can do something like constant. Okay, it's for null check. Question mark is for null check. If null, then second part works. All right. Okay. So now let's say we have new course is equal to course. There is also one way to what do you call that, expand it, but let's see first if this one works. New course dot chapters dot unshift should have unshift chapter. Okay, and then do set course. New course, something like that. Okay. Hey, hi Hemant. Yeah, what's going on? I was just trying to build a new feature and I decided to go live. So yeah, at around 12 o'clock, I have Bhushan who is looking at my code, who is helping me, and you are here. Okay, so let's see. Will this work? I don't know whether the spread will be required or not. Will this work? Question mark. No, it didn't. I think what is going to happen is, right, the state hasn't updated. Unshift, it doesn't basically realize it, or maybe what I can do is this. I'm sure this was okay. It's if it is array, it works. Is it? No, I did that some way. No, spread operator. Will this work? I should keep the null because I'm still doing that check. Okay, so this is fine. Let me try once more. Spread operator. Yeah. So basically we have to, if you just set it, I think somehow React doesn't understand if it is a nested object, but in this way we can tell React that there is some change, and eventually what will happen is React will change the state, and that's why this piece is getting rendered. Okay, so what else? I think we have covered quite a few things. I'm happy that this time I was able to do a little bit of API and a little bit of front end as well. Last time I covered very little grounds. I think I was explaining too much, but this is good. I have this, and what I'm planning to do maybe on Saturday or Sunday is try to get some drag and drop feature over here with the ability to hit save so that I can save the sort order and things become easy. So the idea is I create courses, I go to the individual course, I add chapters to it, and inside chapters we will have our videos. As I said and Tanzim mentioned, it is the clone of Udemy, a very poor man's Udemy platform. Anyway, so thanks everyone for really coming to the stream so late. I really enjoyed. Thanks Bhushan for the support. And yeah, if you like this video, do click on the thumbs up icon. And the other viewers who are watching this video after have posted it, which is not live, yeah, do subscribe to my channel. Thanks everyone. Bye and good night. Hey, if you can explain services etc flow, it will be nice for me before leaving. Oh sure. Services on the front end, right? What, again, it's preference, but what my team generally prefers, and that's how we work, is anything related to business logic is always inside services. Okay, so we have an HTTP service. The HTTP service gives me a wrapper for Axios. The idea is that today we are using Axios, tomorrow if we need to do fetch, or if we need to send some kind of headers which is globally required across all the post calls, these kind of changes will need to be done only on the services. And then every service is getting called inside the component to do its business logic. Nothing related to the data is, the transactional data or any business logic is typically handled inside our service. That's the only difference. It's one level of abstraction. I don't want an Axios call inside my component. That is the only reason I prefer this kind of a thing. It is very common in React. We do it in React. Angular definitely has services and modules, those kind of things. But yeah, it's just obscuring one level separation of concerns. Does that really answer your question, Bhushan? Okay, maybe it does. I'm just assuming. Otherwise, yeah, feel free to ping me. Okay, thank you everyone. Thanks and bye. Good night. Oh, okay. He still okay. He still has a question. Show one service. Okay, I'll do that. So you can still hear me, right? I think my stream is still on. Yes, I haven't stopped it. So let's say right now we have used the chapter service, right? Chapter service is giving me one function, which is save chapter. But now, as I told you, I wanted to have the authorization headers, is which is required on all the URLs from a single place. So what I have done here is I have an auth service. Okay, so the chapter service is getting the auth service and it is calling the get user auth header. Okay, and that's where the logic lies. So these things are kind of obscured, it is taken away, and it becomes a little easier for me to do this. I would go to one more step. And as I told you, right, ideally this should also go inside HTTP service. I should not be doing this every time, because my comment service has that, my core service has that, this auth header, and it is repetition of code, which is not a good thing. And I need to basically create a wrapper for this HTTP service. That is something which is required on this. I'll eventually do that, but yeah, that's how we use services in our applications. All right, I'm glad I was able to explain it to you. So yeah, this time I think it's final. Good night. Bye bye.